What's up guys, Schmitty here, welcome back to another video, and today I've got some super exciting stuff to talk about here that we could be seeing here in the future with Black Ops 4, specifically the Blackout game mode. Because we could finally be seeing our first expansion of the Blackout map, which is really exciting because just a couple videos ago, I was talking about how Blackout just really had not been touched at all yet, aside from just a few minor updates, one DLC weapon being added, some audio tuning. But other than that, there had been nothing really changed about the Blackout game mode since launch. We haven't even gotten any limited time game modes yet, which is something that we saw 2 or 3 of in the beta, if I'm not mistaken. So things as far as the Blackout side have been pretty lackluster as far as updates go. But it looks like that could finally be changing because we might be seeing our first just massive overhaul to the Blackout mode, including, like I said, our first expansion to the map. So where is this all coming from? Well, yesterday on Monday, we got a massive update to Black Ops 4. It was 14 gigs on PS4, 22 gigs on Xbox One. That's a huge update, by far our biggest one yet. And it really did nothing to the game. As soon as you downloaded the update, went back into the game, there was a small list of things that changed. A few spawn tuning things here and there in specific game modes. It added calling cards to pop up when you kill somebody in Blackout. Some tuning to some further crashes in the game, but other than that, it was nothing game-changing, nothing that should be taking that amount of space to download. Which led a lot of people, myself included, to believe that this is going to be something similar to what we saw in Black Ops 3, to where they put out updates and then the very next day, we see something implemented in the game, some new event, some set of DLC weapons, something added to the game. But then when the patch notes came out, it looks like that this update that's going to be taking effect in Black Ops 4 is going to be coming next week. So I'm not exactly sure why they're pushing out this update just over a week in advance, but Treyarch teased in their patch notes that for Blackout next week, we are going to be seeing some massive changes. They said specifically they have an extensive set of features, events, and more surprises coming next week with Blackout. So that's pretty vague, that's pretty open for speculation on what could be coming, but we may have already gotten some information on one big thing that we could be seeing. So also yesterday, the soccer player Neymar did a live stream on the official Call of Duty Twitch channel playing Blackout. It was a promoted live stream that he was a part of, but before the live stream went live, he went on his Instagram and posted a story of, the area in which they were playing, and the alarming thing from this was what was directly behind him in his Instagram story. Directly behind him was a poster of the map Hijacked from Black Ops 2. And as we all know, Hijacked has been one of the most speculated and one of the most asked for things to come to the Blackout game mode. There's been all this talk for the longest time about how much open water there is on this Blackout map. There's a huge space of water. In the Game Informer interview before Black Ops 4 even came out, it was kind of hinted at that there was a lot of open water out there, and Vonderhart kind of tried to shush it down. Which, I guess after all that, we all know that something is going to be getting added to that water at some point. I mean, there's just so much of it out there that there needs to be something added. And in the Treyarch, the Black Ops lore, Hijacked is by far the biggest thing known for something being surrounded by water or involving the water. It's a massive fan favorite map from Black Ops 2, and honestly would just make perfect sense in this map. It could fit perfectly down in that area just to the left of the construction site, somewhere down by that beach where there's, like I said, just so much open water. And it looks like we may have actually gotten an official hint to it anyway. Now, there's a few things that you could say to this that it just may knock it down and may make it look like more of just a coincidence. It could just be some old memorabilia poster, or even if it's a new poster, maybe it just has nothing to do with Black Ops 4 at all, and it's just some kind of art around the area in which they're playing. And while both of those are valid claims, I just find it hard to believe that it's just a coincidence that Neymar did that in front of that poster specifically. I mean, if you guys remember back on March 6th, which was 2 days before Black Ops 4 got revealed to the world, James Harden entered an NBA game wearing a Black Ops 4 hat. He entered the arena wearing that hat. And we've seen many promotions over the time with the Call of Duty franchise involving all kinds of celebrities, sports figures, and so I don't think it's too crazy to think that this is another one of those things. Neymar's a big name, Treyarch, Activision, Call of Duty, they all know that this is going to be something that's seen. I feel like this is just something to get the community talking, something to get them speculating, build up a little hype without an official announcement, and then maybe later on, probably sometime this week, we'll see some kind of announcement for what we're going to be seeing this next week. And so it all really just kind of adds up that Hijacked would be added to Black Ops 4 next week in the Blackout mode specifically. I guess it could also be possible that they could add this as a free map to Black Ops 4's multiplayer, but I just highly doubt it, especially with them hyping up some big event coming with Blackout. I just feel like this is all specifically put in place to see something big implemented into Blackout next week, and I think a big part of that will be Hijacked added to the game, which is really exciting. Like I said, we haven't seen a spot added to the Blackout map yet. We've had the game out for just under 2 months now, as well as we got to play a week-long beta of it. So it's nice that we're finally going to be seeing our first addition to the map. And to just, you know, throw some gas on the fire here with this hype train. If you guys remember, just a few days ago, David Vonderhaar was tweeting out just a ton of information about what was up to come in Blackout, and he specifically talked about he has played the new map update of Blackout, which I said in that video that it must mean that it's coming soon at some point. Next week would definitely fit that time frame of fairly soon. So I think just all signs point to something coming next week. I guess maybe even if it isn't Hijacked, there is going to be some kind of map update. It just makes too much sense to happen. But Hijacked's been talked about so much, it's been highly requested. I just feel like it fits the best, and I feel like a lot of people would like to see it. Now, I also want to talk about some other stuff that we could be seeing in this Blackout update next week, because like I said, Vonderhaar talked about a lot of stuff that we're going to be seeing in future updates in Blackout. I'm not exactly sure on the time frames he gave, but as of next week, it will have been a couple weeks now since those tweets, and so we could see some audio changes come to the game. I doubt we'll see any of those big armor changes coming. It didn't sound like those were too close in development, as well as the changes to the looting system on console. I don't feel like either of those things we will see as of next week, but alongside a new spot added to the Blackout map, we could potentially see some new weapons as well come to the game. Maybe we see some more throwback weapons added from the previous Black Ops games or even World at War, or maybe Treyarch decides to put out a slew of new multiplayer DLC weapons into the game next week for the multiplayer mode that also get added to Blackout. And this would kind of make sense too. I don't want to get too much into this because I want to do another video on this here later in the week talking about next week's update. But if you guys take a look at the black market, if you're on PS4, it's just under a week now until this thing ends, so next Tuesday this thing is going to be over. There's going to have to be some new operation that takes its place. I feel like, you know, not only next week could we be getting some new Blackout stuff, but also some stuff across the entire slew of game modes in Black Ops 4. Again, I'll get more into that in some future videos. I just kind of want to focus on the Blackout update more so in this video, but I think that other stuff just kind of points to some of the other things that we might be seeing in Blackout next week. There's been a ton of changes teased by Vonderhaar just not too long ago, like I said, the last few days, and I feel like a lot of these things that he has been talking about in tweets, we could see here in this update next week. Maybe not some of the bigger ones like the change to the looting system or the massive armor update that they're looking into, but I could definitely see us getting a new spot added in the map, most likely Hijacked, as well as maybe some new weapons, and who knows what else they have in store. Like they said, they've got new events, new features, new surprises coming next week, so it's all up for debate and speculation at this point. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on some of the stuff that I talked about in this video. Are you excited if Hijacked was to come to the Blackout game mode? If it's not Hijacked, what else do you think maybe we could see next week? Even though Hijacked does look like the most likely scenario, I guess it's potentially possible we could see something else, or maybe we get a couple spots added. Who knows? Also, what other changes do you think we could see in Blackout next week? Because, you know, we could, like I said, get some DLC weapons, or there could be some other changes made to the game. What do you guys think we will see in next week's Blackout update? But anyway, that'll do it for today's video, guys. So if you enjoyed, make sure to smack the like button down below if you guys are see all the good content you guys play. Subscribe button down below as well. In terms of getting on, so you guys on those videos, go live. Hopefully you guys all have a good one. I will see you guys on another video. So long, everybody.